welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we talk about everything political from the conservative point of view, from dog catcher to world leaders and everything in between. And that way you'll be well informed when you make a decision at the ballot box. Welcome everybody. Glad you are here. Just want to, on behalf of myself and the crew here on the show, our deepest condolences and sympathies to the victims in Minneapolis at the shooting at the Ascension Church. Our hearts go out to you, and I just can't fathom it, why we keep having these. And we'll talk about that when we bring the other panelists on. So let's welcome all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma. It is Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, welcome.
Howdy, everybody. Hello, Art. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. The weather here, well, it's looking like it's going to start raining pretty soon. It's really clouding up, but it was a beautiful, mostly sunny day today up in the upper 70s. We may be getting back into the 80s this weekend.
Yeah, I don't. We've had rain most of the day. This afternoon it kind of quit, but it looks like we got more coming in. So I don't know. I think we're going to get back up into maybe 81 or 82 over the next week, but mainly we're staying in the 70s. It's definitely fall weather has arrived here, and I
Mm-hmm.
was looking
Yeah,
today. We're like 15 degrees below normal. So.
right. All right, let's welcome all the way from that blue state of New York. Let's welcome Charles Gillespie. Welcome, welcome.
Hey Art, hey Lloyd, everybody in the chat.
Hey, Charles.
And how's it going there? How's the weather there?
It was a lovely day today,
Ah,
like
good.
mid to low 70s, breezy, low humidity. It was lovely.
Good, good, good. So I started off with the shooting up in Minneapolis at the Ascension Church, I believe it is, and the perp that did this is a tranny, someone that identifies as a woman, and just decided to open fire through a window into the church and killing 2 children and injuring several more. I think up to like 20, I believe, people got hurt, maybe more.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
My my understanding is that they barred they barred the door so it couldn't be open, so they couldn't get out either.
oh,
That's what
wow.
I heard yesterday when they were talking about it. It's like,
Right.
and somebody put up, I don't know, on Facebook or something, that all of the different people that have committed these shootings and how many of them were, of course they put like 10 of them up there, and they said that all of them identify or that were all trans. Now, I don't know that's necessarily true, but I
Yeah.
know Uvalde, that one was definitely.
Okay.
Of course, this one as well.
Right.
And there's because used to, before they would do the surgery or start doing her, these people had to go through psychological exams before they could have a sex change. And
Right.
they've thrown that by the wayside. You could just go willy nilly and do whatever you want with your willy,
Right.
Uh, but uh, that's fine. But there needs to be some. They need to really be checking, because these situations, it still comes down to mental health issues, whether they're
Right.
trans or straight or up and down. It usually has something to do with mental health issue. And
Right.
sometimes it just comes down as just pure evil. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, but and Minnesota has some pretty tough gun laws, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
that was my thought
So it's
as
not
well.
like it's not like gun control is working, up there.
Yeah.
Making more laws only is going to punish the people that, because I'm pretty sure there's rules about, you can't own a gun or buy a gun if you plan to go shoot up a bunch of kids and children in schools or churches. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they broke a law there somewhere.
Yeah.
Uh, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's, I'm not making light of it, but on the other hand, the there's some problems, and
Yeah.
it's not in the gun laws. It's in, and I've been saying this for probably the last 15 years, that we as a nation have lost morality.
Right.
These young people have grown up playing Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. And I'm not blaming the games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blaming, if anything, society and the parents that have allowed this kind of stuff to, we're not making our children and young people aware that you don't respawn, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and we've allowed. I mean, like I said, I'm not blaming the games. I used to be a gamer myself.
Right.
I've yet to, is all the years I've played, I've yet to load up my guns and go out and shoot up the neighborhood because I saw something on Medal of Honor or Call of Duty.
Right.
Uh, and that's, I think, is the real issue here, is that we've lost, because we've made life, we've cheapened life. You know,
Mm.
when and it goes, you can say what you want about it, but I think sometimes there's a lot of truth to this. When it goes to the point that going in and having your insides scraped out and flushing the insides down the toilet, that's the way you do away with a life.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and and these places, you hear about all the life on the streets of these young people that are going out. They've got to make, in order to, make their bones, or whatever they call it, become a made man. They go out with the gangs, and they just start shooting people at random.
Right.
That's,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where we have lost,
Mm-hmm.
as a nation, our moral compass. We have,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be churchy, you don't have to believe in any religion, but there are some things about morality that, need to apply, and we've seemed to have lost that as a nation. Of course, I
Right.
know right here I'm probably preaching to the choir, but still,
Mm-hmm. Right.
you know, that's it.
Also,
That's the only answer I see. You know,
I think with this constant 24/7 news cycle, I think that's why you're hearing more of these, because back in the 60s, it was pretty rare to hear about a shooting
R-
like this.
right? It was rare because it was rare. It wasn't that it was rare to hear about it. It was just rare in general. I
Right?
don't think the news cycle has anything to do with it. We become more aware of the details a lot quicker,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but I don't think we become. Think about the Texas sniper up in the Bill Tower. Everybody knew about that, and that's
Right.
way before we had,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, 24/7 news or
Right.
cell phones or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's we knew about that. There was, I mean, the Unabomber.
Yep.
Any number of mass killers that were out there. Uh,
Yep.
so no, it's not that, but yes, that does, and maybe to your point, maybe that's why life has become so cheapened, because we see it all the time on the news,
Right.
and we run it ad nauseum. They'll talk about something for 20, 24, 36, 48, 72 hours, then they move on to the next tragedy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or they carry on for weeks on end about something, and you know, this
Right.
person apparently put up put up a manifesto on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I haven't got to see what I saw something that the their
Their channel got
their
taken
motive
down.
for this is starting to
Yeah,
come to surface, but I don't know what that is yet. Because
yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I've been binge watching uh, Bar Rescue.
Oh, yeah.
I get
I like
you know
that show. I haven't
yeah,
watched
like
it in
how many
years.
idiots how many idiots does it take to ruin a bar?
Right, right.
And how
Hmm,
mad's he going to get? I just really ran into it today.
hmm.
It's the first time, and I've probably watched 20 or 30 of those shows, which usually are just teasers onto what's coming up next.
Right. Hmm,
But it's sure as hell interesting. There's a couple of them pretty good. But
hmm.
yeah, it's so I don't know what his motive is. I just know that it's very sad. On the other hand, there's at least one young hero out there that
Right.
actually took bullets or a bullet for his friend, because he dove on top of his friend and took the bullet in the back for him.
Wow.
And this is
Wow.
from an 8-year-old kid, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid.
Well, that's like
And
that Kendrick Castillo here in Colorado that saved his classmates
hello,
by
Michael. Yeah,
charging that shooter at that STEM school.
right.
And
But
yeah,
this was just a young kid, and he had the presence of mind to protect a friend. And
wow,
one of
that's
the first kids that I heard interviewed was the one who got rescued. Says, "Yeah, I was in shock. I started hearing these noises, and all of a sudden, my friend jumped on top of me and stayed on top of me, and he got shot. You know,
wow,
and but he saved my life,
wow,
and now more has come out about it.
yeah,
And there's that's you say what you want.
mm-hmm,
That young man, if he and I don't think he was one that got killed. I think he's one that survived, but is in critical condition.
right,
That's takes that was some guts. That
right,
kid's.
yeah,
You know, uh, I hope he survived. That's all I
yeah.
can.
I hope so too. You know, we're all praying for all
Absolutely,
those victims.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
That's what I'm not sure. I thought I read that he did, uh, Brian, because he asked, did they live? But I haven't followed up with it. I saw something about, or I heard something. I saw it yesterday on the interview, and then I heard it talked about on the five. I think they were talking about this kid as
right,
well. So that is a hero there. So, and
mm,
he was between, I think, 8 and 10 years old, something like
wow,
that. That's that's quite a bit for a kid that age to do,
hmm,
because a lot
yeah,
of adults wouldn't have even done that.
yeah,
But I guess some of the teachers were trying to protect as well.
hmm, hmm,
It's just
yeah. It's
it's
just
sad that a kid that age even has to be a hero.
right, right, and you can't just be a kid
Yeah,
and enjoy life. And
yeah,
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 I'm just wondering if, well, this guy, while he was transitioning, was he on medication? You know, maybe we need to start looking at what people were.
Abs- absolutely, Joe. It says kid is a future Marine.
Yeah, that's right.
Booyah! Semper Fi. Yep.
Uh, so maybe we ought to look into the medications that these people are
Yeah,
taking.
I mean, there's so much. There is and uh yeah, because I mean they're hormones, or they're hormone blockers, or
Right.
whatever. Anything you start messing with the hormones can create flashes of psychotic
Anger.
issues, yeah, because
Yeah.
look at the human growth hormones they were taking. Look at the guy from WWE, went and killed his wife, his child, and then
Oh,
himself.
Right.
because of he was doing steroids.
Right.
Roid rage was a big thing back in those days,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
you can't tell me that changing hormones, either suppressing them or trying to make them better, it
Right.
doesn't have an effect on the human psyche, because it
Right.
obviously does.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that brings up another thing. This crap about these men and women's sports, these guys that couldn't make it and go back. They couldn't make it as a man, so they go back and try the sport and win because they're now a woman. I thought there were rules against taking hormones in
Yeah.
the Olympics and in all sports.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
the hell haven't they not been disqualified for that in itself?
Right.
You know,
Yeah. I didn't
I've
even
been
think
asking
about
that
that,
question
Lloyd.
for
That's
I've been
a
asking
good
that
point.
question for a couple years now. Like, why? When did
Yeah.
that? So you can take certain hormones, or and it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, but you can't take others. And yet,
Right.
some people. I mean, look at who was the guy? Lance Armstrong lost it.
Yeah. Blood doping.
One of the greatest athletes of his time, but unfortunately, he was taking steroids or
Well.
taking a steroid. Uh, I was going to say
Oh yeah,
hormone.
it's a growth hormone, I think it was, or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was,
that.
and and in his case, there was a reason. It's because he'd had cancer,
Yeah.
and they felt that but you know,
And he was doing what they call blood doping, where they give him some red blood cells, and that increases the oxygen.
yeah,
So
yeah,
your endurance
yeah.
is
I mean, he did, he doesn't deserve to be he deserved to be stripped of his title. There's no doubt about it.
right.
But some of it was, But if that's the case, why didn't they? Why haven't they? They should strip the title off these Olympians. I think they have off that one male
Yeah.
in boxing. I think the Olympic Committee went ahead and stripped him of his and
Right.
gave it to the gal.
Yeah. The
Uh,
second place
yeah,
finish. Yeah. Right.
because that was just
Mhm.
wrong in any sense of the imagination. But yeah.
Right.
But
Uh,
anyways, I got
yeah.
sidetracked again.
So this kind of leads into our next topic in a nearby city from Minneapolis, just a little bit southeast, where Trump wants to send in National Guard into Chicago to help with the violence there. And the mayor of Chicago is all up in arms about it, saying he's vowing riots. That's what's going on. It's like, you know what? I bet will happen. It'll end up being just like DC, where they'll have, oh my God, a whole week nobody got murdered. Wow. So what was
Well, yeah. Brian, Bruce slash Caitlyn Jenner took all those hormones years later,
right?
well after their Olympic
Mm-hmm.
time was over. So yeah,
Yeah.
because
So
even
he
though
could be on the box of grape nuts.
yeah, could be a
Or how about
spokesman for Fruit of the Loom, spokesman for
yeah,
Fruit of the Loom, or Fruit
Fruit Loops?
Loops. Yeah,
Yeah, Fruit Loops. Yep,
yep,
yep.
yep.
No lucky charms there.
I can't make too much fun of her because she's a conservative.
Yes, 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 she is. And yeah, it's weird. Chicago keeps electing some weird ass people there. They got rid of
They got rid
that
of what's her
Lori
name,
Lightfoot.
Lightfoot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I keep wanting to say Gordon, but no,
Gordon,
that's
like
yeah. What's her name?
Lori,
Lori Lightfoot. Okay,
Lori Lightfoot. Yeah,
been been better if she'd have been Gordon Lightfoot.
yeah. She kind of looks like Beetlejuice in blackface.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, you think the mayor of Chicago would welcome some help?
Yeah.
No, those people they've been cutting police funding and taking that money and putting it into social services. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he's always been against men in frocks being in female spaces like prisons and changing rooms in sports.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least Caitlin has some common sense in that area.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think that was a little disappointment. They made Caitlin the person of the year for Time Magazine uh, for whatever because of their bravery of coming out. But turned out it wasn't their normal person of the year because she might have had it removed, but she still
Mhm.
had common sense, which
Yes. That's
some
right.
there's not a lot
Mm,
of common sense to have that cut off, but
yeah.
uh, she at least when it came to she had some social common sense. Let's put it that way. But
Yes. You're right, Michael. Weak men
should
believe in.
be to encroach on these female spaces. But thankfully, the madness is coming to an end. In the UK, the Supreme Court had to get involved to clear it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's good.
at least it's starting to happen in other places. I mean, we're getting rid of it here, and I'm glad to hear the UK has finally finally getting their act together a little bit
Right.
too, because they've had some serious issues with a lot of stuff there.
Yes, they have, and
Yeah, but yeah, as far as Chicago goes, I'm not sure. Now, see, in Washington D.C., there's a clause that allows him to
right,
take federal control. I
right.
don't think he has the I don't
Yeah,
think he has the authority to bring the National Guard into uh, to
another city
Chicago.
because what's different
Well,
about Washington D.C. It's it's called
it's
the
a
District of
yeah,
Columbia.
it's a district.
It's a federal district.
It's a
Right,
federal district. Yeah, it's under federal jurisdiction, and
right,
the city is the city jurisdiction only goes so far, but federally everything else is under their control.
right.
Although going back to Chicago, I think who was it? Lyndon Johnson sent the or was it? I can't remember which one of them was sent the National Guard into Arkansas or
Oh, that would be.
is that Johnson or Kennedy?
I think it was. When you're. This was earlier. Was this in the 50s or the 60s?
Well, there was two different times. I'm thinking
Right,
the one in the 50s would have been under Eisenhower,
right, right,
but I'm thinking that under because yeah the I think in Little Rock, the Little Rock Five, and I think that was in the 50s, in
right.
which the governor refused to, and was trying to block the way. And
George Wallace.
was he George Wallace? Was he the
Yeah, he was
governor
the
back then?
governor. Yeah, that was
Okay,
Alabama. I mean, yeah,
that was in Alabama.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
in
He was.
Arkansas,
Yeah.
I don't remember who the governor was, but the original first bunch was in Arkansas in Little
Oh,
Rock.
okay.
And they ended up sending the National Guard in. Of course, they had to be activated by, uh, God, it's been a lot of years since I've thought about this. But the point is the U.S. The president did call on the National Guard. So
Right.
I
Hmm.
guess if there's under certain circumstances, they can, uh,
Right.
I know they can call in the reserves
Mm-hmm.
because the National Guard is under the jurisdiction of the governor of the state, but
Mm-hmm.
the reserves can be activated. They're under federal government.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Plus the National Guard can be just federalized,
they can be federalized, yes.
meaning that whatever president can just reach right in and go, okay, Governor, you're out. I'm taking
Right.
over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think and the reason they would use either the reserves or the National Guard is because the U.S. military cannot take action against citizens inside the state borders. Anything outside of the borders, the U.S. military can do, but they can't take military or
Police action.
yeah, it's not
The-
police action.
Yeah, they're not trained in the proper procedures to like arrest somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's and I heard that argument yesterday, and I thought, wait a minute, the military, especially the Army, the Air Force, even the Navy and Marines have their own military police, and those guys are trained to make arrests. They have whole unit. I mean, there's units on every base,
Yeah.
every single, at every fort, at every base.
Mm-hmm.
There is a military police presence, and there's also a criminal investigative division, which means the CID is in essence, they're the detective bureau.
Right.
And the military police are police officers, and they can write tickets. They can do anything that another police officer can do.
But
Mm-hmm.
only for military. They can't
Yeah,
like
that's
arrest a
true.
civilian.
By law, they
Right.
can't. They can.
That-
Their jurisdiction only goes as far as the end of the outside of their base.
Right.
Mhm.
But if they're mobilized to take action inside a state or a national guard, and but they kept trying to argue like, well, they don't know how to be police officers. Actually, all they have to do is mobilize one of the military police or
Right.
security police units uh, in any one of the branches, or in the National Guards, because the National Guards have it too.
Mm-hmm.
They have divisions of military police. So but they were yeah, like you said, Charles, they can't do it because their jurisdiction. They don't have the jurisdiction to do
Yeah.
that. But
Well, plus soldiers on base don't have the same rights on base that a civilian does out in
Right.
public.
Mm-hmm.
that's true. But there are a lot of civilian employees on base that still have to follow those rules.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I'd say 40% of all military bases are staffed by civilians, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
They keep the soldiers sort of ready to go kill people. They don't the civilians to do the paperwork, or to
Right.
cook the meals, or to do the laundry, or any number of other things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's sort of one of those fine line things. You're right.
Yeah.
The Army, the military does not, because of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. We are under that authority, and we are, we don't have the rights
Mm-hmm.
that civilians do. You know,
Right.
and double jeopardy can apply as well,
Mm-hmm.
or does not apply, because you can be found guilty in civilian court, serve your time, and then you have to come back and you have to serve time under court martial in a military court for the same crime.
No, did not think about that.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've known of guys that got sentenced to 55 years to life, and they served out 35 years, and as soon as they walked out the gate, the military police picked them up and they took him in custody. They put him back in a uniform and sent him to Fort Leavenworth to serve out more time.
Mm-hmm. All right. There's a Trump in
Yeah.
general is force good. Uh-huh. When Trump leaves office? Yep.
Many will fall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty until you're right. UCMJ, guilty until proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And
UCMJ's Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's the rules and regulations by which all military personnel have to follow. It's the military constitution and all of its subsequent laws.
right.
Everything from hair length to speeding tickets.
Right.
You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens after
Yeah.
Trump
Yeah.
leaves office. It looks like it's going to be Vance that'll be the one that'll.
Yeah, they're preparing him, I think, well
Mm-hmm.
for. There's a lot of people that aren't sure about Vance, but he's really being prepared well for dealing with what's to come next. You know what's
Right.
after Trump.
Mm-hmm. And Michael makes another. He's realizes his crucial for the U.S. to turn the crazy corner. Yes, that is
Yes, you're
true.
right. Yeah, yeah. I think JD Vance will carry on. I think he will.
Right.
He has right now. He hasn't done anything that I wouldn't support him, and
Right.
I think they're really. And I said this: Trump has 4 years to.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Sir.
but yeah, Michael, I agree with you. You know, Trump was necessary for this country to uh, finally turn us back around into some
Right.
sort of normal thinking. You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but uh, but yeah, I think Vance will carry on. I think he will, and I think they're doing what I said is that if Trump got reelected, he'd better have a strong vice president
Right.
that
Not
can
not
not
like this.
somebody like Pence. Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
who is and I mean if you listen to Vance and you watch it and you read about his history and his story of his life, he's come a long way, you know, and
Oh yeah.
he's uh and he's married to a woman of that's from East India or of East Indian descent,
Yeah.
so he understands the immigrant story, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I'm every time I hear him on an interview, and he does just about as many as Trump
Oh
does,
yeah.
and every time I hear him, I'm like, yeah, this is the
Mm-hmm.
guy I'm going to vote for
Right.
because right now what's really going to make a difference is who he ends up choosing for a vice presidential running mate.
Right. Mm-hmm. I saw a video about a week ago where someone did an AI. They posed the question, uh, who's going to be in the race in 28, and what's the outcome? And the predictions are pretty interesting. They have Vance as the contender. He'll be in there, and they didn't
Right,
really say who his Veep was going to be. But
right.
who he's running against? Buttigieg.
Buttigieg, yeah, I've been hearing
Yeah.
that tossed around, but
And they said, and he'll probably get defeated soundly because he's a weak candidate,
oh yeah,
and and it's just that the Democrats don't have anybody that could really run. That's not that sounds like a lunatic.
Yeah, well, Gavin Newsom is probably really who will end up winning the nomination.
Well,
But
yeah.
I
Well, they
mean,
have. It's going to be Buttigieg and Newsom ticket, and Buttigieg he'll be on top.
has Buttigieg ever had a successful? Has he ever successfully run? I know he's run a lot, but has he ever been
Oh
successful? Has
yeah,
he ever
wasn't
won?
he mayor of Gary, Indiana? I believe.
Oh, was
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. hmm So I thought that was pretty interesting. So
Yeah, it would be. He's got the rank. He's got the name recognition,
yes,
but his record is, I don't know. I think it's probably
oh
is bad or worse than Gavin Newsom's.
yeah,
Of course, Newsom is, he's re-imaged himself now. He's the new Gavin Newsom.
uh,
He's Donald Trump 2.5.
mm, yeah. Well, all
Unfortunately,
right. To go into a different tangent, just a little bit to the east of Chicago, down in Indiana, they're talking about redistricting there as well.
right.
And I know Utah has been talking about it as well, doing some redistricting. And from my understanding, the reason why they're doing this is because the census has been so skewed because of all the illegals that have
Yeah,
been counted.
right.
And now they want to redraw the districts, minus
Yeah,
those illegals, so they could, instead of being race uh, preference, it should be by, all right, how did these districts vote in the last cycle?
right,
And
right. Well, and I think that was the problem because, well, yeah, because we don't know how many of those illegals actually got to vote.
right, that's right,
And a lot of those districts that are predominantly heavy with that, they could have easily voted.
right, yeah. And
Which,
well, down in Texas, a lot of those Democrat areas, they voted for Trump.
yeah,
And so it looks like the trend is turning to where, especially amongst young people, uh,
right.
they're really going, hard right now. Wacky red, but they're,
No, but they're definitely got a higher trend of right leaning people. Oh,
yes,
pardon
and
me.
not joining, but what is that called when? Anyway,
They are trending to the
yeah,
right.
trending, yes, and they're becoming Republicans. Their affiliation.
Yeah,
You
Republican
think
affiliated.
young
Yeah,
people, they normally attack left, but
yeah,
now this new group of young people, 16, 17, they're all their affiliation is Republican, and to a huge degree.
yeah, yeah.
And I think in the next couple election cycles, you're going to start seeing the results of those. And I think,
Well, yeah, and we might get back to where we have a better representation, and maybe this will start hopefully ending this 50-50 split that we've been having, and this
right,
this constant teetering of the balance of power from one day to
right,
the next.
right.
Like, will that guy show up to vote for this or not? Will this guy show up
hmm
to vote for that or not? And I
hmm
think that's what we're probably going to see a change, and we're going to have over a 50%, and where Obama had that 60%, threshold
Right,
at one point when he was first elected. I think you're going to see that start coming and trending over to the Republicans.
right. Mm-hmm.
I apologize. I got up early. I went to sleep early last night, and I woke up and I looked at the clock. I was up once, and then I woke up, looked at the clock, and I jumped up out of bed, and I thought, damn, I've slept the whole friggin' day away. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. And I come walking out here, fix me a cup of coffee, and finally I looked outside, and like,
It's
damn, it
dark
must be
outside.
cloudy out. Yeah, why
Yes.
the hell's it? And then I had to go back and look at my clock. It's 1:30 in the morning, not 1:30 in the afternoon. So I went back to sleep, and then I woke up again at 5, and I'm not getting up this early, but
Yeah,
so I was up and down a couple of times, and I hadn't slept good the night before. So,
yeah.
but yeah, so I
Oh, you
apologize.
could be dirty.
I know.
Oh,
I was just sorry
oh.
about that, guys.
Man, I didn't sleep all that well either last night. I got slightly less than 6 hours. But the good thing is, most of it was deep sleep, which,
Oh,
but I kept waking up and looking at the clock and going back to sleep. I'd
yeah,
wake up, oh, I got 3 hours.
yeah,
Wake up, oh, I got 2 hours.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I got an hour. Go back to sleep. And then I wake up, oh, I got 5 minutes. Shit, I'm getting up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right now, I got sawdust in my eyes. I've been working on another pipe, and I didn't put my glasses on while I was
Uh,
doing it. So,
so, yeah, so with the redistricting, and everybody's all pissed off. And to
yeah,
me, it's
it's
like, why now? Why not just wait until the next census when
well,
those
I think the
illegals
problem
maybe,
is what you said. It lies in the fact that the last census wasn't a good one.
right?
It was skewed way too heavy with illegals that were, and they counted that, and it's
Hmm.
like, okay, California lost so many people. Well,
Right,
you know, and but these other states, they should have gained, but they didn't, or they gained and they shouldn't have,
right.
and because
Hmm.
they were counting according to the census, they were counting the illegals.
Right,
You know,
right.
and that's actually been a trend for a couple of censuses. That's been going on because they've actually done that for probably. Well, let's see, last one was 2020, so I know they did it in 2010.
Right.
In which,
Mhm.
and so you're talking about 2010, and then again in 2020. And there we are at the halfway mark of the till the next census,
Right.
and that has been constantly. But
Yeah.
the 2020 election was more important, because it was for
Right.
control of the House and the Senate.
Right.
And so when it all came out, between 2010 and 2020, that well, now that has gotten to the point where it's really messed with the actual because it's not just electoral votes, but it's also the representatives that we have, that how much we have in
Right.
the House of Representatives.
Hmm.
And when you take them out of the mix, you suddenly realize something's not right. And these districts that were predominantly Democratic held, Democratic controlled, because they had a larger, more of a Democratic base. And it turns out that no, there's more Republicans living there,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
and it probably showed in the last elections. Like you said, some of these counties, they voted for Trump, but
Right.
yet but as far as their district goes, they were blue. So why is it that they're voting red, but yet they're classified as blue? Well, that's because they
Right.
took into account the illegals that were there. And when you take that away, okay, we're going to have to redraw. Oh, look, this county voted red too. We're going to bring it into, District 3 now. Instead of District 3 being blue, we're going to redraw it. And now it turns out District 3 is actually uh,
Hmm.
a red district, which changes the balance of power.
Right. And also, the two Congress people that have lost their seats are Jasmine Crockett and Al
Amen.
Green. Al,
Well, both of them are
yep,
losing their seats.
yep. Hmm.
Couldn't have happened to
Now,
two nicer people.
now, Jasmine, she could stay in her district and primary the guy who's well liked, or she could just, just take her stuff and say, "Oh well, sucks
Yeah.
being me."
Take
Yeah.
her shit and go home. Yeah.
Yep.
I wish
Hmm.
I wish she would. Getting rid of Al Green, though, that's a
Oh yeah, the way he grandstanded at the
he's an idiot. I mean, he's
yeah,
how anybody could vote for him. It's just,
right.
and this is what amazes me about the hypocrisy and the idiocy of the far left.
Oh,
They choose the side of, oh, let's support the rapist and the
right,
murderers and the sex traffickers. Oh yeah, the wife beaters. Those are the people that we represent. Well, what about all the law-abiding citizens that live in your
right.
inside your damn district? You know, what about them? And this goes to everything from these deportations.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy that they brought him back. And of course I don't know who it was, a senator or a congressman went down there and had
Oh
cocktails with him.
yeah, Van
They brought him
Hollen.
back. Now
Yeah,
he's a little pissed because now he's getting shipped to Uganda.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
like
you
I
could
said,
hang
if
him
he'd
out.
have just come back and not raised hell about it, and he could have gone anywhere. He could be sitting on beaches of Tahiti. But nope,
Mhm.
he's going to be sitting in sitting in the somewhere in Uganda, and I don't think he's going to like it very well.
Well, he could hang out with Mom Donnie's
Yeah,
buddy.
that's true. Well, there is that because Mamdani is, he might actually be able to do that because Mamdani has a really large family estate down there in Uganda.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
him being the leftist that he is, and being in support of these people that are downtrodden, like this guy who's a rapist and a sex trafficker and a wife beater.
Right.
Yeah, he supports those kind of people. Those are his people. So he
Right.
can just put him up in his nice house. See how that
Mhm.
works.
Yeah,
Matter of
there
fact,
you
I
go.
think it should be required.
Mhm. All
Put your
right,
money
so
where your mouth is.
yep. So to close out the show, there's a big kerfuffle at Vanity Fair because who do they want on the cover?
Melania
Melania
Trump.
Trump. And some of the, I guess, editors are threatening to, I'm going to quit and I'm going to take half the staff with me. You know what? That's a stupid thing to say because then when the next cuts come around, guess who's going to be at the top of that list? Yeah,
On top of that, they didn't even say in the interview who they were. They didn't have enough. They didn't have enough cojones to really stand up for what they believe
right.
because they
Hmm.
didn't give their name and they say it's a such a hollow threat like and I'll probably take probably or maybe take half the staff with me. If
Yeah,
you go through with this, I might have to resign.
yeah, yeah.
Why don't you go live in Ireland with Rosie?
Rosie, yeah,
Of course,
or
Ellen moved over there too, and they decided
yeah,
she had no
she's in
discernible.
England.
Huh?
She's in England.
She went to. She's back. They threw her out. She didn't
They
have any
threw her
worthwhile.
out.
Yeah, she didn't have any because one of the requirements to live there is you got to show that you have something worthwhile to contribute, and they determined that she didn't have
Well,
anything.
she's a lesbian and a celebrity.
It didn't matter. They sent her ass packing.
Oh my, I did not
Yeah.
know that.
If she's not in England, she went to one place and they sent her ass packing.
Ah, okay. Well,
Now she might have
hey,
she came back quietly,
okay.
under,
She
with
came
her head
back
down, big floppy hat
riding.
and sunglasses. Yeah, yeah. She was hiding, but yeah,
She came back riding in her Porsche.
yeah, yeah,
Porsche
yeah, yeah.
De Rossi. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I just thought, what a dumb thing. I mean, these
Yeah,
people.
Vanity Fair
Oh,
doing
I'm
that.
not going to let you normalize this person. What? Who the fuck are these people? Shut the hell
They're the
up.
same idiots that raised hell about Jimmy Fallon,
Yeah,
who did that with Donald Trump.
did that with
Yeah,
Donald Trump, and they just
yeah.
had Greg
Then,
Gutfeld on.
yeah. Well, of all of the three positions, not counting Gutfield, but the other two positions, what's happening with both those shows? Of course, they're ending late night on CBS. They're just going.
Yep.
It's so
Mhm.
bad they're just doing away with the whole damn show. Not only,
Yep.
but getting rid of what's his name.
Oh, Kimmel, he's on. It looks like
Well,
he's on
Kimmel's
the way
over
out.
on ABC. What's the idiot that's on CBS late night? Took
Seth
Letterman's
Meyers?
place. Seth Meyers, is that it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah. See,
so.
they're not only that, they're firing him, but they're doing away with the show completely.
Right.
Seth
Well,
Meyers has
actually,
been
that was you're thinking of Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert
Stephen
took over
Colbert. Yeah, yeah,
directly
That's
after
right. Right.
David Letterman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of all of them, of the three of them, Jimmy Fallon's the only one that won I would ever watch, anyways,
Right.
because I find him entertaining. He's a hell of a musician. You know, he has some really enjoyable music stunts on there and games that they play,
Right.
and hell of a impersonator.
Mm-hmm.
And so his stuff is relevant. So him having Gutfield on, they were two comedians sitting there having a good time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that's what those shows are supposed to be. We're supposed
That's
to be
right.
winding down at the end of the night, getting ready to roll over and go to sleep, not getting fired up about damn politics at late night. That's why
Right.
people quit watching those other shows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Kimmel
And
is such a crybaby. Who can take him serious anyway?
right.
He's constantly crying about something or another.
Oh, I stopped watching Saturday Night Live
You're right, Brian.
20 years ago. Yeah.
Melania has always, and probably she's probably had the most class since probably Jackie Onassis,
Right.
Yeah.
except maybe for Mrs. Reagan.
Right. Mm-hmm. And she speaks 6 languages.
She does. She's
Mm-hmm.
she shows. I don't know if that's necessarily the greatest thing, but she shows what an immigrant can do.
Right.
Of course,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, she married Donald Trump, and that's why she married up anyways, whatever you
Yeah.
want to say about it. But still,
Mm-hmm.
uh, she has been nothing but nice, and she's
Right.
probably one of the first ladies I've enjoyed since Nancy Reagan.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
and I mean, if you haven't watched that movie yet, with the new Ronald Reagan movie that has
Oh, the one with the Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid,
Yeah.
that's a must see movie. It's a
I
very
guess
enjoyable movie.
I gotta find out where I could go see it. And
Yeah, well,
mhm.
I can't remember which one of them it live stream on, but
Right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's
I can
definitely
always
good.
Google it.
Yeah, but it's just going to IMDb and they'll tell you where it's streaming
Right.
at. So,
Mm-hmm.
You
and
can watch it on Amazon Video. It's $5.99 to rent, $6.99 to rent off of Apple TV.
Right. Okay. Cool.
yeah,
Since I don't have Prime myself, I can't immediately see if you can watch it on Prime for free.
yeah.
Oh,
No, I think I actually
$5.99
bought it.
to rent it out for, was it 48 hours or 72 hours?
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good
Right.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's a good deal anyway. If you just want to watch it one time, I went ahead and bought it because I thought it was that good. I'll watch it again, and I
Cool.
have watched it at least one more time. Probably watch it another couple of times because I
Hmm.
watch my movies sometimes 6, 8, 10 times.
Isn't that the movie Darcy Lynn is in?
I believe it is. Yes,
Yeah. Hmm.
I can't remember what she does, but yeah, that was her first movie too. So
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, and Dennis Quaid, he's really turned into quite a different person than what he was when he was married to or back when he was years ago because
Yeah.
he had a drinking problem. Who was he married to?
Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, he did a lot of action movies.
Well, he
Uh,
did, but he also, I mean, he did Jerry Lee Lewis. That was
yep.
his first
Mhm.
first really big movie that I saw him in.
He was in Enemy Mine with Lou
Yeah,
Gossett Jr. Yeah,
yeah,
that was a
yeah.
pretty good sci-fi movie. And Inner Space with Martin Short.
Inner
That was
Space. Yeah,
fun.
that was probably one of the first ones I remember. And then I
Mhm.
saw him on
Mhm.
playing Jerry Lee Lewis. But I
Yeah,
think it's called Reagan.
yeah, I think it is called Rick.
Yeah, and it
Hmm.
gives it talks more about. Well, actually, it kind of covers from where he starts out as an actor and becomes eventually the president of the Actors Guild.
Yep,
And
Actors
his
Guild, and then Governor of California. And,
Yeah, and it goes right on through until he's gone. Till
right,
where he comes out. The where the Alzheimer's takes over, and
right,
there's a lot of uh, uh, there's there's a lot of good points there. And Dennis Quaid does a passable Ronald Reagan.
right.
But
Right.
he's not an impersonator. That's not it.
No,
He's portraying Ronald Reagan as best as he can. If
right.
you've watched enough Dennis Quaid, there's certain attributes that you see and like, oh, that's Dennis Quaid.
Uh-huh.
And to me, a lot of his actions go all the way back to when he was Jerry Lee Lewis. Some of the actions that he did as Jerry Lee Lewis are ones that he's carried through. He was in Footloose, the new one.
Oh,
He was
oh,
the
okay.
Yeah, he was the preacher, the father of the girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the newer one, not the original one.
Right.
And
With
it's a
the
good. I mean, it's a damn good movie.
hmm. Hmm.
And but yeah, and that one I forgot who it was. Who it was. Oh, it's the guy. It was he was the country guy on The Voice. Blake Shelton did the
Okay.
remake of Kenny Loggins' song.
Hmm.
Did it in a country style.
Hmm.
So.
Cool.
But
Cool.
anyways, yeah, Dennis Quaid is Dennis Quaid in a lot of his movies. There's
Yeah.
certain things you'll see him do. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen that 100 times. But yeah,
Hmm.
it's uh, it's still watching that Reagan movie. It's just like even I'm going, wow. Either I knew it and forgot about it, or I didn't know it to begin with.
Hmm.
So it explains a lot of where he came from. And as I was watching it, I'm sitting there thinking, this could easily be the biography of Ronald Reagan, or it was a biography of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Hmm.
that would have been a whole lot better if I said it right at first. This could
Yeah.
have easily been the biography of Donald Trump. There, I said it
Right.
right that time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's because there are a lot of similarities, and until you watch this, you don't really see what those similar in their politics.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. They were
in their
both Democrats.
Well, yeah, they were, and they also were, pretty strong figures in whatever side they were on.
Right.
And
Hmm.
they saw the time to. Now, Trump waited a little longer than Reagan did. Reagan became a,
Right.
a Republican. I
Hmm.
remember, I remember the night on Death Valley days that he announced he was no longer going to be hosting it.
Uh-huh.
and because he was seeking political aspirations at that time,
Oh,
and
cool.
and I can't tell you when that was. I was a little shaver back then, so
Mhm.
uh, whereas now I'm just a no shaver. But anyways, but yeah, no, it's interesting, the parallels.
Mhm.
It's almost, it reminds me of the Lincoln Kennedy parallels. You know,
Right.
the
Mhm.
those twists that and it's a little bit
Mhm.
like that. You know, it's going, oh yeah, okay. So,
There you go.
and Reagan was what we needed at the time.
That's right. After disastrous 4 years of Carter,
Yeah, and this is where Donald Trump steps in, and
Mhm.
uh, same thing. You know,
Mhm.
it's what we
Well,
needed to get us back to normalcy.
yeah, that's right. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming. We've done a little over an hour. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Tell your friends about the show. Let's try to grow the show. We're up to 505 subscribers. So let's get this going to where we could, make a few bucks. Maybe sell some merch. Some grumpy, GIMP merch. 3 GIMP merch.
Yeah, there you go.
So take care. Have a great evening. Don't forget Art Joe Drones and Entertainment tomorrow night.
Right?
Bill's Bill's show, Hanger
Uncle
Talk.
Bill's Hanger Talk on
Uncle
Saturday
Bill
night,
on Saturday. So take
and
care, and
Grumpy's
yeah,
Coffee Shop on Monday.
Grumpy's Coffee. Yep. Where
Yeah,
he'll keep you up all night.
yep.
Take care. God bless. Good night, everybody.
Good night, folks.
Good
Let's
night. Good night, Grant. Good night.